Hello, I'm Mike Ogilvie. I'm an international conference speaker and I'm looking forward to speaking at your conference. One of the things I do at conferences, I use stories to try and get across a point. And one particular story I talk about involves profit robbers. So many people think about the way to increase your profits is to cut your costs, when there's so many other ways of doing it. But when you are focusing on costs, they tend to focus on the traditional routes. They look at their electricity bills, they look at the costs of any other suppliers, for example. But there's one thing they often forget, in fact normally forget, and that involves talking to their team. So we were going around a factory, and in the factory there was a whole load of racking, very expensive racking, that the factories were putting their goods on top. And one of the supervisors came up with one of the men who worked in the warehouse and said, "This man has saved us over £20,000 in the last year." And I said, "How did you manage to do that?" He said, "Well, I was looking at the way the warehouse was laid out, and I thought, why do we have to spend so much money on racking when we've got pallets, that the wooden platforms on which so many of the goods are stored? If we could actually make sure we store them neatly in a sensible order, why don't we just stack the pallets on top of each other in an organised fashion? And that way we won't need the cost of the racking." And that little story involved one member of the team who had never been asked until that time when I said to the supervisor, "Can you just ask your team if they've got any ideas that might save you money?" And that person came up with that simple idea. And profit robbers involves waste. Ideas that quite often your team, even you, know that areas that you are inefficient or you are incurring waste. So I'd like to share with you a lot more stories about profit robbers that might just open your mind to things that you might do differently in your business. I look forward to seeing you soon and sharing that story with you at your upcoming conference.